Hi there, I'm Janelle DuRoss, and today is all about the core. You will need your yoga mat or something supportive to lay down on and one block. So you're going to take the block and just move it kind of near where your head's going to be. You're going to be on your back the whole time, just so it's easy access. Now, one important thing before we get started is that if you tend to have tighter hamstrings, maybe just warm up a little bit for your hamstrings so you get the full benefit of the core work, because we're going to start with the legs straight and hamstring tension can kind of prevent that. So just a little note there. So I want you to stay with your breath and do the best you can. We're just doing three moves to get the core in different ways. So come onto your back. And the first thing is that you want that lower back pressing into the mat. So think about lengthening your spine toward your feet. You can even play with the pelvic tilt to get a little bit used to it. Bring your arms out into a T shape and have your palms face up just so that you're externally rotated. And adjust your shoulders, your lower back. Take your right leg up and stretch out your left leg. And you're gonna squeeze the glute of the bottom leg. It's gonna hover. And we're gonna do this for a few moments. And I want you to think straight, strong leg, plantar flex, and then the bottom leg is reaching out, squeezing the glute. So everything is energized together. Okay, so, and then slowly switch and just stay with your breath. And I want you to go slow and methodical. And just think about the length and the engagement of the legs. And the upper body is supporting the position. So your lower back is staying down, your upper back, your middle back, strong legs, working the glute when the leg lowers. And there's energy reaching out through the feet. So you're keeping that energy line all the way throughout the leg. Working the quad, working the calf, the hamstring, and your hip flexors. Try not to touch the floor, but really feeling those legs work. And your core is working really strong with your hip flexors as a stabilizer to just move the legs. And go for a few more rounds. Try not to let the bottom ribs flare up and out. Think about more of the bottom ribs going toward the hips, staying with your breath. Okay, now squeeze the legs together. This is very important. So we're going to go at a diagonal. The arms are in a T shape for a reason, and you're going to reach diagonally toward the palm with the leg. You don't want to drop down. So squeeze and pivot up and over toward the palm, and slowly come back up. So the hip is going to lift, but try not to let the opposite shoulder lift. Really getting those obliques to fire. And then reaching and exhale, come up. And when you go to the other side, you're reaching the opposite arm out so it won't lift off the mat. And do the best you can to stay connected with your breath. And see how low you can go from one side to the other. And you will kind of start to travel a little bit, getting a little bit lower on your mat. Squeezing the legs together. Straight, strong legs. Keep that plantar flexion. Can you reach a little bit more toward the palm? So you're going at a diagonal, which is really making your core and your obliques work really hard. Let's do one more each side. Keep reaching the arm out. Can you keep those legs straight? Best you can. And exhale, come back up. Now, grab the block, bend the knees, and place the block the narrow way between the knees. This is very important. Squeeze in. Okay, arms into a T shape again. Press the lower back. And we'll start to the left. So you're gonna pivot to the left, down, circle over to the right, and toward your head. Plantar flex, squeezing into the block. Try not to let that lower back lift. So you're just gonna be circling. We're gonna stay to the left for a little bit. And the further the knees get away from the head, the harder it is. So you can explore and play with that yourself. And just stay connected with your breath. It's so tempting to be like, I can't breathe. I just want you to breathe as naturally as you can in this position. Keep squeezing into the block. One more to the left. Okay, now back to center and over to the right, circle down and over to the left and center. And you're just doing that smooth circle best you can. Try not to let that block go, so it's there for a reason. And I actually think it's harder to do without the block. So this is giving you something to squeeze into externally versus just the knees. Keep squeezing and circling. And yes, you will be traveling a little bit with your whole body because of the position that you're moving in. And think about that lower back lengthening. You're really keeping those bottom ribs in and down. And one more circle. You're almost there. And come back to center. Now take out the block, place the feet down, and we're just gonna stretch it all out. Okay, so I want you to think about the glutes. You're just gonna lift the hips up, squeeze as you keep lifting, bottom ribs going toward the hips, going toward the thighs. You can wiggle the shoulders underneath, and I just want you to feel this length from the ribs through the hips, getting the hip flexors and the quads. So the glutes are working to stretch the front body. So feeling that length, really stretching it out after the work that you just did. So lengthening, stretching it out. See if you can get this line from the bottom ribs, hips, and thighs. Open your arms out into a T shape and see if you can roll the spine down, one vertebrae at a time. Slow as possible. Your butt will be last. And then let your lower back release. Okay, and roll up, come on up to sit. Okay, there you have it. Your core work for today. I hope you are feeling everything and inspired by what you can do, because you do all kinds of hard things in life. And just remember that I am here for you every week to work on mobility, flexibility, and strength so that you can move and feel awesome right now, going forward for the rest of your life.